introduce our lead for the theme of entrepreneurial learning. She is Dr. Kristiina Erkkilä from Espoo in Finland. Thank you, Dr. Erkkilä.
Thank you, Judith, for the introduction. Our theme for this session is entrepreneurial learning in learning cities. This theme is very dear to me. I've been very passionate about supporting entrepreneurial learning in my city in many ways, and I've seen also results on that. And I think it can shape the city's presence and also the life of the learners. And now it would be interesting to hear how this has worked in other cities around the world. And let's start with Melbourne, Australia. And there we have Julie McKay, who is the founder and managing director of Enable Australia. So now to Melbourne. We have two questions for you, Julie. And these are: describe your learning city and how entrepreneurial learning contributes to that. And it would be also very interesting to hear how does it contribute to sustainability at the same time. And the second question is, give one good example of entrepreneurial learning from your city that other learning cities can benefit from using. So now to you, Julia.
Oh, thank you, Kristiina, and a great g'day from Melbourne, Australia. And thank you. It's wonderful to be here. We're very much looking forward to hearing about other entrepreneurial learning and also sharing our stories as well. So we've got a presentation prepared for today, which will run through those questions. So I'll just share the screen for that. Okay, and let's run into it. So to answer the first part of the question is, you know, in the city of Hume, where Enable Social Enterprises resides, we have a very active learning city run and led by the Hume Council. So just a little bit of a snapshot. I think it's good to contextualise what's going on in Hume. So the key trends that we're looking at is it's quite fast growing. It's quite culturally diverse. It's got 250,000 residents, and it's also the home of the Melbourne International Airport. So whenever anyone that's ever come to Melbourne, you've flown in through the Hume area, through the Melbourne Airport. There's a lot of local economic development going on, and there's a lot of growth sectors appearing in the Hume City region. Transport and logistics being one of them. Retail is another, and we have a very strong contingent and growth of recycling and what Enable does in the e-waste sector. Some social issues that are prevalent in the area is that youth unemployment is disproportionately high, and it's also ranked as one of the highest areas of social and economic disadvantage in Melbourne's north. Akin with the national trend of employment for people with a disability shows that they're 50% less likely to have a job. And that sees Australia as ranking 21 out of the 29 OECD countries. So quite a bit of work to be done on the social issues. The next context with the Hume, I thought we'd give an example of some really work on the ground, which they've done a lot of great work. In particular, they've got jobs and tasks, workforce, they've got the Hume Global Learning Village, but the one that I'd like to talk about where we have actual practical experience and involvement with is the Hume Multiversity Program. And it serves to bring together industry, community and the education sector, you know, to create and tackle those localised issues that we've mentioned earlier. So the ones that I've been involved in is the, from an entrepreneurial perspective, is an Illuminate program, is working with high schools where they're given social issues to tackle, whether it be sustainability issues, whether it be, you know, things like social issues, high unemployment, and then they run through a business case and try and solve those issues, taking it right through to a business concept level. So it's great to be part of that. I'm actually on the judging committee for those. One of my favourite gigs, I must say, of each year in getting engaged with those. Also part of the Hume Changemaker programs, which focus on entrepreneurship, and in particular my contribution to that was about collaborations and how collaborations can build a strong entrepreneurial culture. We also had an opportunity to work with Hume Council on their circular city and circular economy plan, and in particular having social enterprise as a vital part of that ecosystem, sustainability ecosystem, but also focusing on work and learning opportunities for disadvantage. And another one here that I love doing was working with the adult migrant English students, again, very high culturally diverse area. And they come out and do an industry visit at Enable, put all their new English skills to work, but in a business context as well, which supports employability down the track. Now, in the second part of the question, I thought I'd share a little bit about what Enable do, and to give you a live example of what we're doing on the ground as far as entrepreneurship goes. So our main commercial activities are around reuse, refurbish, retailing and recycling of computer equipment. And so in that context, we actually create a lot of social impact, obviously working with the environmental piece, and the economic impact is local jobs for local people and local disadvantaged, which is significant when you look at those issues that we spoke about earlier. So again, we're all looking at work and learning. We're all about reusing and reselling and getting another life out of that equipment, which helps with our sustainability focus. One particular initiative which has gotten a lot of traction, particularly during COVID, is our Renew Tech for Good initiative. And that really hits quite hard in trying to tackle the worsening digital divide, particularly with many states in Australia currently in lockdown and have been various times over the last little whiles. Okay. And the best way to describe what we do is in the context of our impact reporting. So we report against the issues that we're tackling, obviously the impact that we're having, and also we map that against the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So in this context, we're tackling our high employment rates by providing employability programs. We've worked with over 1,000 participants so far. And we also offer through our affordable tech program significant discounts for people in need, so they can actually access that tech at an affordable rate. And obviously batting quite heavily on that no poverty by way of advocating for the right to a job and also the right for digital inclusion. The next issue that we have in our impact at a local level is tackling the high unemployment. This is actually through those paid jobs before that I was speaking of. So there's 16 employment pathway outcomes that we've had for people with disability and from disadvantaged backgrounds, and also to some referrals to training, extra training and education as well. This is a really powerful impact with United Sustainable Development Goal number 8, for decent work and economic growth. And this is something that our customers who work with us and give us the tech, they really appreciate this impact, because they can actually see the outputs of the work that they do through the tech they give us as well. The next impact that we have is obviously in that environmental and sustainable space, with e-waste growing at a very fast rate in Australia, and also with sustainability strategies now, zero waste strategies with renew and reuse rather than recycle, has seen us divert 227 tonnes of tech from landfill. Currently, I think the affordable technology is around about 500 or 600 items that we've distributed. And we've also done some really cool stuff at a local level, where toner from our recycling of printers has gone into local roads in collaboration with some other organisations there. So that's the fun stuff that I really, really enjoy. And just on our final impact area, is all about that collective impact. And this is really important to us because Enable adopt a collaborate and not duplicate approach in everything that we do. We don't receive government funding for what we do, but we do work with many organisations that do receive that funding. That picture there is reflective of that school group from Kangan and Spectrum, where people came in and got their work experience and some English in practice type training. So in this respect, we do record our volunteer hours on how that creates a platform for change and a platform for entrepreneurship. In this respect too of the partnership goal, really important that we work with over 50 plus other community services to distribute the tech throughout the country. And this again serves pretty hard on our how we, I guess, reflect our impact in relation to that. Hume Council is also a funding partner as well as a community partner. And I guess, you know, in sharing stories such as these and encouraging and a focus on collaborative entrepreneurship, it really does pay homage to not just what Enable's doing, but all the stories that we're going to hear tonight about the you know, collaboration and the possibilities that come through that forum. So it's probably a great opportunity to hand over, and I'd love to hear all about Sue's initiative as well. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and I look forward to hearing more from everyone else.
Thank you, Julie. Very impressive work you're doing, and congratulations for that. And I also was very happy to hear how much you contribute to sustainability with everything you do. And it was great to see how you measure the impact as well. So there's great examples for us, the rest of us. Thank you, Julie.